it's not really a lot of negative publicity. It's on the internet. We don't really know what happened here. That's why they said they're handling it privately. So I don't want to say anything that Jacob Fatu did anything wrong at all because I don't know the facts. So I won't comment on it, but I'm sure if they said it's going to be taken care of privately, they will do it.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine. I'm your host, Mac Davis, and each and every week I have these two guys alongside me, and it's the best part of the week. First of all, he is legendary pro wrestling journalist, Mr. Bill Apter. Hey, Bill.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here with my two best friends.
And of course, the other one, the third, the trio of us all, is the WWE Hall of Famer who's on the road in a mysterious place, which we kind of figured out that's the genie bottle background, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
How many of our viewers remember I Dream of Jeannie?
Probably not many, but if you do, she had that little bottle, and when she got inside of it, it had kind of that feel like a real comfortable looking background. It just looks like, yeah, you're sitting inside of Jeannie's bottle right now.
Well, I'm on the road here, and I'm just having a good time here, doing a little vacation time. I'm being entertained here by the lovely Denise, so I may give you a peep at her, and I may not.
Yeah, well, sooner or later, I'm going to have to meet Denise because I've heard a lot about Denise, believe it or not. So
you've got Denise, and in the other room, I've got the nephew.
Yeah, I got the wife in the other. I got the wife in the other room.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
Guys, let me bring something up that was in the news. Jacob Fatu has been in the news, but not for the good thing, really. The takedown of Sports Illustrated, which I believe is a podcast or a video cast from Sports Illustrated, says that in 2023, Jacob Fatu received payment from Jake's Network of Hope, a nonprofit organization, to appear at a pro wrestling fundraiser. Fatu was paid $2,633 for his appearance, plane ticket, and hotel accommodations. The Bloodline's enforcer canceled his appearance before the event, citing, quote, a family emergency. Jake's Network of Hope said they were understanding, but asked Fatu to pay back the money. And according to NBC 26, Jake's Network of Hope intended to stay silent on the whole thing until they were made aware of other organizations that had similar experiences with Jacob Fatu. Sports Illustrated also reached out to Jake's Network of Hope, and they said, this is Jake's Network of Hope, quote, Jacob Fatu and our organization are addressing the matter privately, beginning with a phone call and a heartfelt apology back in May. While the full amount owed hasn't been paid, we appreciate Jacob's acknowledgement. It can be tough to face up to your wrongdoings, and we commend him for taking steps towards confronting this. It sounds like, and I'm going to be devil's advocate on this, Teddy. I'm going to start with you. One of the things that I think of when I see this, I know they said only part of it has been paid back, but there is a time when the deposits and other things that are, if he purchased airfare, do you pay everything back? How does that work on the road when you're working with a promoter?
Well, it can go different ways. You know, different promoters have their own rules. Basically, the way that I understand it to work is if a guy sends you a deposit, the only way that you're not to send that deposit back is if that show gets canceled at no fault of the talent. If he cancels the show because he hadn't sold enough tickets, or if he can't get the building, if something happens on his end, then you're not supposed to deposit back. That's not your fault, okay? But if, you know, I've never been in that position where you had to send money back to somebody, so you know that's kind of hard to do. But I mean, to be fair about it, you know, if you feel like you're in the wrong, you should send it back. You send it back. I don't know. That's kind of left up to the person.
Bill, do you think it was, especially for the amount, it was only like $2,600, and I say only, but still, that's not a large amount. Wouldn't it have been better just to return the money and avoid every bit of this negative publicity?
Well, it's not really a lot of negative publicity. It's on the internet. We don't really know what happened here. That's why they said they're handling it privately. So I don't want to say anything that Jacob Fatu did anything wrong at all because I don't know the facts, so I won't comment on it, but I'm sure if they said it's going to be taken care of privately, they will do it.
I certainly hope it doesn't affect. Go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah, and I want to speak on that too. Yeah, with Jacob Fatu, man. I mean, golly, one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. You know, that just ain't that. He's not like that. He's no guy that would, try to stiff none of the promoters. I just don't see him doing that. So I think there's maybe some misunderstanding here.
That's what I was about to say too. That knowing Jacob Fatu and how nice he actually is in person, and not only that, but how talented he is and what he's added to the WWE roster, can't go unnoticed. He's really. I don't want to see something like this side, track his growth, because right now he's right where he needs to be. He just needs to keep getting that push. And I don't want to see a push stop over something like this. And
Mac, I think this happened a while ago before he was in WWE.
Correct. It was in May of 2024.
Yeah, we don't know where his life was at that point, really, if he needed the money or what the situation was. But I'm sure this is going to get straightened out. And, he's a great guy. He's a really gentle guy, but he's crazy in the ring, as we know.
Yes, he is. I love him as the enforcer in that group, because he is a believable enforcer. All right, well, you brought up the Crown Jewel PLE that just took place, and the two Crown Jewel champions came out to be Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan, who we were just talking about. Cody defeating Gunther and Liv beating Nia Jax. So, Bill, I'm sure that you were happy, and Teddy, your baby's mama lost.
Well, that's all right. She didn't lose the baby.
That's right. That's good, Teddy. The match with Gunther and Cody Rhodes was a good old school roll up. I didn't expect the end of it to happen when it happened, but the way that they've moved this on now is that Gunther is complimenting Cody Rhodes. He's telling Cody it's not finished. But on Monday Night Raw recently, he said to Ludwig Kaiser, who was putting Cody down verbally, he said, don't say anything bad about Cody. He was the better man that night. I'm not done with him, but he won fairly, and he respected him. So very classy.
I was about to say the same thing, Bill. I agree that it came across very classy, something we don't normally see out of the champions. Usually they're bitching about, well, he cheated or he did this. Instead, he stood up and said, no, the better man won. I just wasn't my night. And that was the way to go. Was it not, Teddy?
That's right.
That's the way to do it. Very classy. Very classy. I want to say something about Gunther that Bob Smith, who's former PWI editor and writes for the newsletter that I do that you can get on Backstage Pass, of course, everybody. He compared Gunther to an old timer, and then when I thought about it, I said, yeah. He said that Gunther reminds him of Killer Kowalski. Same build, same type of speaking verbiage there, same type of ring work. Do either of you see that as well?
I see that. Yeah, I certainly agree with that. Looks exactly like him.
Yeah, it's a little before my time, actually, when I was watching. So I
these young kids, Teddy.
Is that right? There ain't a wrestling match on this planet that was before your time.
Hey, look, I'm not the one that reffed a match with Abe Lincoln. Let's see.
I photographed it.
Anyway. Well, at least he kicked out.
That's right. All right. I'm not going to go any further.